Okay, so when we put together a marketing plan for a local program, I think what people need to remember is that there's a lot of prep before the program, that you want to think about what the program is going to be about, but at that time you need to figure out also the objectives so that you know what you want to measure for evaluation at the end of the program. So there's got to be some consistency from beginning to end when you're doing program planning and marketing, because evaluation is actually part of that whole process. So it's really important to understand what the program's about, what the objectives are, and you really want to actually think about how can I find out what's going on out there so that when you go to evaluate after the class, you have a more accurate measurement of the class actually having an impact on behavior change. Okay, so it's really a little more involved, and sometimes we hurry and get a program together and we don't always pull all those parts together, and it's really important that we do. Part of that whole package goes back to being accountable for what we do. And if you can show your accountability through impact and changes at the end of a program in the evaluation portion, then our funding possibilities go up and partnerships go up, because people want to be connected to successful efforts. So it's really important to think about that. I think what's really important too about marketing is you need to know who your audiences are. You might have to figure out a target audience. And then when you have a target audience, you can zone in on what's most effective in marketing to them. So if we're talking about folks who are always on the internet and they're younger, they may be all on Facebook using social media, they are folks who are maybe on Twitter, we need to realize that not everybody does those type of computer interaction type things, but at some point, if that's your main audience and the age range is that's where they focus, that might be a better use of your time and efforts. And then again, if it's a general population, you're gonna have to remember everything from old school newspaper announcements to putting things on our main website to batch emails, then move into maybe social media as part of that also. So I also find that you have to do it early, you have to do it often, and you have to do it continuously. And again, you have to have your consistent branding so they realize it's who you are, and they go, oh, I took a class there and I want to come back there. There's a lot of connection again to the experience. So you want to make sure that's all consistent and you deliver a good product that way. So community-based social marketing is just that. It's driven from the community level up. And Extension has a great opportunity to use that grassroots input to do programming in areas that they're asking for. And if they're asking for it, they're going to be your best model of disseminating not only the information, but they'll help you market the program as well. And you can actually have less resources available, but have a greater impact because you're going through this grassroots level of communication with the members of the community, as well as the fact that when you have that type of interaction, you'll get people who step forward, and they can be like an advisory committee for you who will discuss issues and challenges they're having. And also at that time, they'll be able to tell you what we call barriers to what they see as being effective for them to be able to make changes towards achieving a new goal. So for me right now, we're looking at community-based social marketing as a means to help educate folks about their automated irrigation systems and turning the water off during the rainy season, or realizing that even though you're given 2 days a week to water, you don't need to water both days. Because what we find is that with community-based social marketing, there's a category called norms, which talks about what your neighbors are doing. And there's a huge influence from the neighbors' behavior onto what your behavior will be. So we need to think about community-based social marketing as a means of finding out what those barriers are, figuring out what the norms are, and then between those two things, we could actually create a program to, discuss how we could change those norms and discuss how the barriers could be decreased. And in the meantime, you want to also discuss with them that the behavior change may actually have greater benefits than they're aware of. Some people look at cost benefits, meaning money only, but there may be a cost benefit where it actually takes them less time to do something if they were to adjust their practices. So community-based social marketing is a really nice type of program that could actually advance Extension's mission.